Assalamualaikum. Today my group will be presenting on our assignment topic, which is electric vehicles and charging infrastructure. To start our presentation, let's look at the preview of EVs through three main key areas. Let's look at the motive power shift. What does this mean? In transport principles, we are seeing a massive shift in how vehicles get their power. We are transitioning from traditional internal combustion engines (ICE) that use petrols into clean electric motor system. Instead of burning fossil fuels, EVs convert chemical energy stored in the battery directly into kinetic energy. This makes the vehicle a much cleaner alternative energy source for our transport system. Next, moving on to the second part, which is vehicle classification. It is important to know that not all EVs are the same. We can classify them into three main categories. First, we have BEV, which is 100% fully powered by a battery. Second, we have PHEV, which combines an engine and an electric motor that you can plug in the charge. And third, we have HEV, the conventional hybrid vehicles that charge its own battery internally through regenerative braking. Lastly, let's look at the market growth and trends. Why are we talking about EVs today? Because we are seeing a surging global and local demand. Market adoption is happening very rapidly as more consumers choose sustainable transport. On top of that, this trend is heavily supported by government incentives and policies such as tax exemptions, which makes switching to EVs much more attractive for everyone. So now that we understand the vehicle aspect of the ecosystem, my teammate will continue with the next crucial part of our topic.
Next, I will explain the stakeholder. First, government agencies. Government agencies play an important role in supporting the growth of electric vehicles. They are responsible for developing policies and regulation, providing financial incentive, and investing in charging infrastructure. This effort helps encourage EV adoption while supporting the country's sustainability and carbon reduction goals. Second, transport operators. Transport operators such as logistic companies, bus operators, and ride-hailing service can benefit from lower fuel and maintenance costs by switching to electric vehicles. EVs can also improve operational efficiency and enhance a company's environmental image. However, they still face challenges due to high investment costs of EVs and charging facilities. Next, passenger or consumer. Consumer are the main user of electric vehicles. They can enjoy lower operating costs, lower maintenance expenses, and a quieter driving experience. However, their decision to purchase an EV often depends on factors such as affordability, the availability of charging station, and the vehicle's driving range. The fourth stakeholder is environmental groups. Environmental groups strongly support the adoption of EVs because they help reduce carbon emission and improve air quality. They also encourage the use of renewable energy and proper battery recycling to ensure that EV technology remains environmentally sustainable. Lastly, community organization. Community organization help raise public awareness about the benefit of electric vehicles and promote sustainable transportation. They also support local initiative and encourage equal access to EV charging infrastructure so that more communities can benefit from this technology. In conclusion, the cooperation of all these stakeholders is essential to ensure the successful adoption of electric vehicles and the development of a reliable and sustainable charging infrastructure.
Now, I will explain the impacts of electric vehicles (EVs) on different stakeholders. We divided the impacts into positive and negative. First, the government agencies. On the positive side, EVs help reduce carbon emissions, decrease dependence on imported fossil fuels, and create new job opportunities in the EV and renewable energy industry. However, the government needs to invest heavily in charging infrastructure, introduce new regulations, and provide incentives which increase public spending. Next, transport operators. EVs can reduce fuel and maintenance costs, improve the company's image, and increase long-term operational efficiency. On the downside, the initial cost of EV fleets is high. Charging stations are still limited and charging takes longer than refueling conventional vehicles. For passengers or consumers, EVs offer lower running costs, a quieter driving experience, and contribute to cleaner air. However, EVs are still expensive to purchase. Charging stations are not available everywhere, and some users experience range anxiety during long-distance travel. For environmental groups, EVs help reduce greenhouse gas emissions, encourage renewable energy, and support climate change mitigation. However, battery production and the mining of material such as lithium and cobalt may have negative environmental impacts if not managed responsibly. Lastly, community organizations. EV adoption can improve public health through better air quality, encourage sustainable transportation, and raise awareness of green technology. However, rural communities may have limited access to charging infrastructure, and the high cost of EV technology may create unequal access.
Despite the growing popularity of electric vehicles, there are several challenges that may slow down their adoption. First, electric vehicles have high purchase and infrastructure costs. EVs are generally more expensive than conventional vehicles because of their battery system. In addition, setting up charging stations requires significant investment and maintenance costs. Second, charging stations are still limited in many areas, especially in rural locations. This makes long-distance travel less convenient and may discourage potential users from switching to EVs. Another challenge is the long charging time. Unlike traditional vehicles that can be refueled within minutes, EVs are often require a longer charging period, which can be inconvenient for users with busy schedule. Lastly, consumers may experience range anxiety, which is the fear of running out of battery before reaching a charging station. This concern can reduce consumer confidence and affect the willingness to adopt electric vehicles. Although electric vehicles face several challenges, they also offer many opportunities for future growth and development. One major opportunity is lower operating and maintenance costs. Electricity is generally cheaper than petrol, and EV have fewer moving parts, which reduce maintenance expenses over time. Another opportunity is the expansion of charging network. As more charging stations are installed in public and private locations, accessibility will improve and encourage more people to use electric vehicles. Technological advancement also create opportunity for the EV industry. Faster charging technology and improved battery performance can reduce charging time, increase efficiency, and enhance the overall user experience. Finally, the growth of the EV industry can contribute to economic development and job creation. The production of electric vehicles, batteries, and charging infrastructure can generate employment opportunities while supporting sustainable economic growth and reducing carbon emission.
Today, I will continue the discussion about the proposed solution to address the challenges faced by electric vehicles. The first solution is second life battery use and recycling. Retired EV batteries still retain a significant amount of storage capacity. So, instead of disposing them, they can be repurposed for stationary energy storage systems. Reusing these batteries extends their lifespan, maximize their value, and reduce environmental waste while lowering the demand for new battery production. The second solution is fast charging with renewable integration. Fast charging stations can be integrated with renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power. This approach not only reduces charging time for EV users, but also promotes the use of clean energy and helps alleviate range anxiety. Another important solution is the expansion of charging infrastructure. Governments and private companies can work together through incentive and partnership to invest in more charging facilities. In addition, establishing strategic charging hubs along major highways and rural routes will improve accessibility and encourage greater EV adoption. Lastly, addressing range anxiety through DC fast charging is crucial. DC fast chargers are capable of recharging EV battery in as little as 15 minutes only. Faster charging reduces waiting time, increase convenience for users, and support long-distance travel, making electric vehicles a more practical option for everyday use. Overall, this solution can enhance the efficiency, convenience, sustainability of electric vehicles, and encouraging wider adoptions in the future.
To conclude our presentations, let's look at the first point, which is the derived demand synergy. In transport principles, we must understand that EVs and charging infrastructure cannot be separated. EV is a derived demand, so people won't buy the cars if there are no charging stations. Therefore, both the vehicles and the charging networks must be grown together to ensure a seamless mobility experience. Moving on to the next point, which is the second point, overcoming current challenges. Although the transition to EVs is great, we still face a few operational hurdles. This includes managing our electricity grid capacity, standardizing charging ports for all vehicles model, and reducing the high initial capital cost to build more fast charging stations. Finally, the future. Despite the challenges, integrating EVs with a strong charging infrastructure is the ultimate path towards sustainable and green mobility. It directly supports our goals to reduce carbon emissions and lays down the perfect foundation for future smart cities.